ds, then radius of curvature rho is ds d psi. And we will also determine the formula to evaluate the radius of curvature for any Cartesian, polar or parametric curves. So curvature is d psi ds and radius of curvature ds d psi, reciprocal of each other, radius of curvature. And look at this figure here. Look at this. This is the tangent at the point P, and look the sentences. If length PC, this is PC, is equal to rho, the radius of curvature is measured from P along the positive direction of the normal at the point C. The point C is called the center of curvature at P, this point C, and this is the curve. Its radius of curvature is rho at the point P, and if rho is measured along the normal, positive direction of the normal at the point P, then this PC, this length PC, if this length PC is the radius of curvature, then the point C is called the center of curvature. Center of curvature at P. Remember this, radius of curvature at the given point, because radius of curvature is not constant for all the points on the curve. So radius of curvature at the point P, curvature at the point P. So P, the point, given point, you have to measure the radius of curvature, you have to measure the curvature, you have to measure the center of curvature, and so on. And there is also formula for the center of curvature, for the radius of curvature, that I will discuss now. Suppose y equal to fx is a given curve and P is any point, say 2, 3 on the curve. So how you will determine the radius of curvature? Then you will measure ds d psi. Then always it is difficult. Geometrically it is ds d psi. But whenever you will measure the radius of curvature for a given curve, you need some ready-made formula, so that you can just use those formula to evaluate the radius of curvature. And that formula will be determined based on this definition, that rho equal to ds d psi. And before that, few things you must remember. Few things I have discussed, I have written here. Few things you have to remember, because everything is not possible to discuss, or because it needs some more things that sometimes you may not have idea on that. Just a minute. Okay. So one thing you must remember, these are very much essential, that I have written here. That's why I don't know whether you have already have some idea or not. If not, then you may use from here. Look at this for this curve, for this graph, P and Q, 2 points, same thing is taken, and if coordinates of the point P is xy and coordinate of the point Q is x plus delta x, y plus delta y, then you know that PR equal to delta x and RQ equal to delta y. Okay. And if you draw a tangent at the point P, if it makes angle psi, and if you take draw a tangent at the point Q, but this is not the tangent, then delta psi plus delta psi. Okay, now forget about those. Look at this. For the triangle PQR, look at this, PQR, sin QPR sin QPR equal to RQ by PS from that angle, that is delta Y by delta S by PQ sin theta. When Q tends to P, in the definition of the curvature also it is taken Q tends to P, that is delta S tends to 0. PQ becomes the tangent at P. This PQ, this line, when Q tends to P, it becomes the tangent at the point P. QPR equal to QPR tends to psi and delta S tends to 0. So delta S by PQ, that is arc PQ by chord PQ, tends to 1. Arc PQ by chord PQ tends to 1. Why? As I told you that if you take a very small part of a curve, or you are taking 2 points P and Q very close to each other on a curve, very close, then we assume that it is almost a straight line. So that's why chord arc PQ by chord PQ is almost same, that is tends to 1 when delta S tends to 0. That is when we take P and Q are very close to each other. Okay, so in that case delta S by PQ 1, so sin psi is equal to limit delta S tends to 0 delta Y by delta S equal to dy ds. Actually that I would like to talk to you that you have to remember that sin psi equal to dy ds. Similarly, if you take the cos psi and take all that measure that I have done for the sin psi, then you will get cos psi equal to dx by ds. It is known to you that tan psi equal to dy dx. It is very much known to you from the tangent. Tan psi equal to, if psi is the angle made by the tangent with the positive direction of x-axis, then tan psi equal to dy dx. But what will be the sin psi? What will be the cos psi? Sin psi equal to dy ds and cos psi equal to dx ds. This ds is the arc length. Arc length when arc length is very small, delta S tends to 0. So if you think that you are not interested on this deduction, at least remember sin psi equal to dy ds, cos psi equal to dx ds, because to determine the formula for the radius of curvature, we have to use sin psi equal to dy ds, cos psi equal to dx ds. But it is not in your syllabus, so we have to just mention here that sin psi equal to dy dx. Dy you know, dx no, ds only you have to remember that it is the arc length. It is the arc length. Now check this one, formula for the radius of curvature. Radius of curvature is the reciprocal of the curvature. Rho equal to 1 by curvature, radius of curvature. Look at this curve. As I told you that your curve will be given in terms of x and y. So how you will determine the radius of curve? Every time you will generate the formula, then you will find the radius of curvature? No. It is some standard formulas are there. You have to remember. You can substitute there for the curve. Only remember that if no point is mentioned, then it is the general any point p x y. But if the points are given, you have to find the radius of curvature at that point. Okay, now come here. For the curve y equal to fx, you have to find the formula for the radius of curvature. What is the formula for the radius of curvature? This is curvature ds psi ds. And what is the formula for radius of curvature? ds psi. Now it is given rho equal to ds psi. You have to come here, but your curve is given y equal to fx. Okay, come here. Tan psi equal to, you know, dy dx. Then d square y dx square sec square psi d psi dx. Sec square psi d psi ds ds dx d psi dx. It is written in this way: d psi ds to ds dx. So ultimately it is d psi dx. Why it is written d psi dx? Because you have to introduce rho here. And that's look at this. Here it is ds dx. That's why I have already mentioned here sin psi equal to dy ds, cos psi equal to dx ds. All these are to be used here. Okay, next sec q psi d psi ds. Why sec q psi? Because dx ds equal to cos psi. It is 1 by cos psi, so sec psi. So sec q psi. And rho equal to ds d psi. Here it is d psi ds. So 1 by. So rho equal to sec cube psi d square y dx square. Just d square y dx square is taken in the denominator, and here it is 1 by rho, it is taken in this side. So rho equal to ds d psi sec cube psi by d square y dx square. Now sec psi equal to what? 1 plus tan square psi root over of, because here it is sec psi only. So 1 plus dy dx whole square root over. So rho equal to sec cube psi by d square y dx square. So sec psi equal to this. Sec cube psi equal to 1 plus dy dx whole square whole to the power 3 by 2 by d square y dx square. Now check this formula. Read this formula. If you have any question or any confusion, any step, ask me.
So do we need to practice the derivations for exams or only the problems solving the formulas?
Usually derivation is not given in the exam, but only used to evaluate the radius of curvature for a given curve. Usually, even if you need to derive the formula, still if you have to remember also, because if any one problem is given and question is find the radius of curvature of this curve at the point this, then if you start to derive the formula, then try to find the radius of curvature for the given problem, it will take much more time. So it is not always possible. Always you must remember the formula. In addition, you know the procedure if usually it is not given, but if it is given, then you can derive the formula. It is not so difficult. Only two things it is used that is not may not be known to you. One is sin psi, another is cos psi. That's why I have given just briefly the figure how the sin psi and cos psi is derived, because here look at this dx d psi equal to cos psi is used. If I directly write here, then you may ask me how you will find this cos psi equal to dx ds. That's why I have briefly described it. But remember this formula. It is very much important. 1 plus y1 square whole to the power 3 by 2 by y2, provided y2 not equal to 0. It is in the denominator. If y2 equal to 0, then what will be the radius of curvature? Infinite radius of curvature. It is not infinite radius of curvature. One more thing you must remember, that radius of curvature is a length. Radius of curvature is a length. So even if it is found as negative value, you will consider it as a positive value. Suppose using your formula you have found rho equal to -2. Then you will write, therefore the radius of curvature is 2. 2 unit, if it is not, no unit is given, 2 unit. Because look at this curve, this CP, this is the radius of curvature, radius, and C is the center of curvature. So it is a length. Okay, one thing is very important. Here it is, I have mentioned that y2 not equal to 0. But in your problem, if y2 equal to 0, then how you will find the radius of curvature? That is also given here. If y2 equal to 0, then we shall use x equal to phi y. Your curve, your function is given x, y equal to fx. But if y2 equal to 0 for that function, then you can express the function as x equal to phi y, x as a function of y. Then in this way, dx dy equal to cot psi, and your formula will be rho equal to 1 plus x1 square whole to the power 3 by 2 by x2. This x1 is dx dy, x2 is d square x dy square, provided x2 not equal to 0. So first you will do this one. If it is not possible, that is y2 not equal to 0, then only you will think about the alternative, that is 1 plus x1 square whole to the power 3 by 2 by x2. This is one formula. Another is parametric form. Parametric form is nothing that suppose a circle is given, x square plus y square equal to say something square. In that case, you may consider x equal to some in something into cos phi, y equal to something into sin phi. This is a parametric form. So that in general, if x equal to phi t, y equal to psi t is the parametric form of the curve, then also you can use the same formula that I have used earlier, that is rho equal to 1 plus y1 square whole to the power 3 by 2 by y2. Because from here also you can easily find the dy dx d square y dx square, even if it is given in parametric form, like that, dy dx equal to dy dt dx dt, d square y dx square equal to this. So now substitute in the given problem, 1 plus y1 square whole to the power 3 by 2 by y2. Otherwise, if you substitute these two derivatives, you will get this formula, x dash square, x dash means dx dt, y dash means dy dt, like that, whole to the power 3 by 2 by x dash y double dash minus y dash x double dash. If you remember this formula, then also you can use this formula. It depends on your choice. I will give you examples for using all the formulas that I will derive here. So one formula for the function y equal to fx. If it fails, then you can write the function x equal to phi y, and your formula will be 1 plus x1 square whole to the power 3 by 2 by x2. If it is given in parametric form, then you can find from this parametric form dy dx d square y dx square and substitute in your given formula already derived. Otherwise, if you use this directly in the parametric form of the radius of curvature, then you have to use this formula, that is rho equal to x dash square plus y dash square whole to the power 3 by 2 by this. you can use this if you remember this one. And another thing, this is the polar form. Here also you have to remember some formula to derive the formula for the radius of curvature of the curve r equal to f theta in polar form. This is, you know, that this is the polar form of the curve r equal to f theta, and rho equal to ds d psi, ds d theta d psi, ds d theta by d psi d theta. Now you have to find ds d theta, you have to find d psi d theta, then only you can evaluate rho. Now psi equal to theta plus phi. If you look at this curve, this is the curve, this is the curve, and this angle is theta, r theta curve, and this angle is phi, and tangent make the angle psi with the horizontal axis. So it is the external angle. So psi equal to theta plus phi, theta plus phi. So psi equal to theta plus phi, that is theta plus phi, tan phi equal to r d theta dr. So it is a long calculation. So I am not giving the derivation of tan phi equal to r d theta dr. Rather, you must remember if you would like to remember it. Tan phi equal to r d theta dr, or equal to r by r1 equal to dr d theta. So so here look at this, psi equal to theta plus phi, theta plus tan inverse r by r1 equal to dr d theta. So d psi d theta equal to 1, derivative of theta equal to 1, and tan inverse r by r1, its differentiation is given here, and if you simplify this one, you will get this one, r square plus 2r1 square minus r2 by this. r1 means dr d theta, r2 means d square r d theta square. So here two ratio is ds d theta, d psi d theta. D psi d theta is given here, r square plus 2r1 square minus r2 by this. Still you have to find ds d theta. ds d theta is what? ds d theta is root over of r square plus r1 square. Arc length r square r1 square. So if you substitute in the formula rho equal to ds d theta by d psi d theta, then you will get this formula, r square plus r1 square whole to the power 3 by 2 by r square plus 2r1 square minus r2. So I would suggest you that at least remember the Cartesian form of the radius of curvature and polar form of the radius of curvature. Sometimes it is possible that if the curve is given in polar form r equal to f theta, and you can convert it to the polar form, Cartesian form, then you can use the formula, this one, rho equal to 1 plus y1 square whole to the power 3 by 2 by y2, or rho equal to 1 plus x1 square whole to the power 3 by 2 by x2. But sometimes it will take time to convert the polar form into Cartesian form, then use the formula. So at least remember the two forms, Cartesian form and polar form. Cartesian form must, and also I would suggest you to remember the polar form of the radius of curvature also. And one more formula that is very simple, known as the Newton's formula. Newton's formula only applicable if the curve passes through the origin. Then only you can find the Newton's formula. But it is very simple. Why simple? Look at this. If the curve passes through the origin and the axis of x is the tangent at the origin, then rho equal to limit x tends to 0, y tends to 0, x square by 2y. It also has derivation, very long derivation. so I am not going to derive the Newton's formula, and also it is not given in the example to derive the Newton's formula. Only remember the formula. If the car passes through the origin and x-axis is the tangent at the origin, then it is x square by 2y. If the car passes through the origin and y-axis is the tangent, then y square by 2x, x tends to 0, y tends to 0. But it is not like that. Always car passes through the origin and x-axis will be the tangent and y-axis will be the tangent. Sometimes some other line may be tangent. So for example, if x plus by equal to 0 be the tangent at the origin, then the radius of curvature is half root over of a square plus b square, x square plus y square by ax plus b. This is the general formula. From this general formula also you can derive the radius of curvature when x-axis is the tangent, radius of curvature when y-axis is the tangent. So remember this one. So how you will check that the curve passes through the origin? You can, if I ask you that check whether this curve passes through the point these 2 and 3, then what you will do? You will substitute 2, 3 and you will check whether it will satisfy the curve or not. If satisfied, then the curve passes through the point 2, 3. It is passes through the point 0, 0 is very simple. You don't have to check. Just check whether the constant term is present or not. If constant term is not present, then it is passes through the origin. Then how you will find the tangent at the origin? Do you know any formula? If a car passes through the origin, then by observation, how you will find the tangent of the car at the origin?
Sir, we need to differentiate the equation of the curve, then we put 0, 0, then it passed through the origin.
So there is one formula, I think, for partial differentiation.
But the most simple way is to find the lowest degree term equated to 0. Suppose x square plus y square plus 2x plus 2y equal to 0. This is a curve passes through the origin. So what will be the tangent? 2x plus 2y equal to 0 is the tangent at the origin. I think some of you have idea about this. You might have forgotten that the lowest degree term equated to 0 gives the tangent at the origin. I will show you something. Remember this. So if you take a curve which passes through the origin and you need to find the tangents to that curve at the origin, then find the lowest degree term in the given equation. That lowest degree term equal to 0 gives the tangent at the origin. Clear? Then you don't have to use the formula and anything. Just set the lowest degree term equal to 0. That is the tangent at the origin. I will show you some example here also. So for the radius of curvature, one formula is the for the curve y equal to fx. In that case, we will use the formula 1 plus y1 square whole to the power 3 by 2 by y2, provided the denominator term not equal to 0. If in any case the denominator is 0, then we will use the formula 1 plus x1 square whole to the power 3 by 2 by x2. And if it is parametric form, then you can use the parametric form formula, or from the parametric differentiation you can find the first derivative dy dx d square y dx square second derivative and substitute the given formula. And if it is given in polar form, then use the formula r square r1 square whole to the power 3 by 2 by r square 2 r1 square minus rr2. It is also possible to convert this polar function, polar curve into Cartesian form, then use the Cartesian formula, but again it will take time. And sometimes it is also take time to convert the polar form into Cartesian form. So it is better to remember at least two formula. One is the Cartesian form, another is the polar form. And this Newton's formula is very much useful for those curves which passes through the origin. If it x-axis is the tangent, then x square by 2y, y-axis is the tangent, y square by 2x, and if ax plus by equal to 0 is the tangent, then this is the formula. Okay, let us take some example. Look at this. Find the simple example. Find the radius of curvature of the parabola y square equal to 4x at the vertex. So y equal to 4x is the curve. So it is of the form y equal to fx. So you can use 1 plus y1 square whole to the power 3 by 2 by y2, but y2 is 0 here. So you cannot use that formula. You can use the formula 1 plus x1 square whole to the power 3 by 2 by x2, and dx dy equal to half y, d square y dx square equal to half. And if you use this formula at the point 0 0, so you will get 2. Radius of curvature is 2. Now you can ask me that since we know the Newton's formula and also this curve y square equal to 4x also passes through 0 0, because there is no constant term and so it passes through 0 0. And what is the tangent at the origin? X-axis is the tangent, y-axis is the tangent, or any other line is the tangent. As I told you that if any curve passes through the origin, then the lowest degree term equated to 0 gives the tangent at the origin. Here lowest degree term is what? 1, and that is only for x. So x equal to 0 is the tangent. X equal to 0 is the tangent means x equal to 0 is the tangent means what?
X square by 2y.
X square, no. X equal to 0 is the tangent.
Y-axis.
Y-axis is the tangent. So y square by 2x is, look at this. If you take y square by 2x, that is equal to what? 4. And your formula is what? Y square by 2x. So here if you take y square by 2x, that is equal to 2. So 2 is the tangent. You can use the Cartesian formula, but if you use the Newton's formula, this is very much easier. Just one line. Tangent at the origin is y-axis. So the using Newton's formula, the rho is limit x tends to 0, y tends to 0, y square by 2x, that is equal to 2. Finished. So sometimes Newton's formula is very much useful, but only for the curves which passes through the origin. This is one example. Okay, next, find the radius of curvature of the curve x cube plus y cube equal to 3axy at the point 3a by 2, 3a by 2. So here also you have to find the first derivative, second derivative at the point 3a by 2, 3a by 2. First derivative is minus 1 at the point 3a by 2, 3a by 2, and the second derivative is 3 square or 32. You will check, probably it is 3 square. no, 32, sorry, 32. D square y dx square equal to minus 32 by 3a. So formula is rho equal to 1 plus y1 square by y2, and that is equal to this equal to this. As I told you that radius of curvature cannot be negative, it is a length. So you will write that radius of curvature is 3 root 2 by 16 into a. But you have to find the first derivative, you have to find the second derivative, where at the point 3a by 2, 3a by 2. And then use this formula. Okay, let us find anything more. Okay, find the point on y equal to 4x minus x square where the curvature is maximum, not radius of curvature. Curvature is maximum. But if we can find radius of curvature, because we know the formula for the radius of curvature for Cartesian equation, then curvature is what? 1 by that. Curvature and a radius of curvature is reciprocal to each other. So here y equal to 4x minus x square. So rho equal to this 4x square minus 16x plus 17. Okay. So sorry, rho is always positive. So it is to calculate its maximum value or minimum value. It is written in this way. Look at this: 2 into rho whole to the power 2 by 3, because here it is 3 by 2. So it is taken 2 by 3 so that its roots are eliminated. So right hand side becomes 4x square minus 16x plus 17. That is written equal to 4 into x minus 2 whole square plus 1, as you have done this in your quadratic equation in plus 2 level. Maximum value and minimum value of any expression ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. So here it is, look at this, 4 into x minus 2 whole square plus 1, and it is always greater than equal to 1, because this expression x minus 2 whole square, it may be 0, never negative. So it is always greater than equal to 1. And equality for x equal to 2. If x equal to 2, then only it is equal to 1. Otherwise, it is always greater than 1. So its minimum and so this is minimum, and minimum value is what? At minimum value is 1. Clear? Its minimum value is 1. So rho is minimum at 2, 4, and its minimum value is minimum value 1. Sorry, half. Here it is multiplied by 2, so its minimum value is half. And rho curvature and radius of curvature are reciprocal to each other. So curvature is maximum if rho is minimum, curvature is maximum, it is reciprocal, and its maximum value is 2. If you have any question for this example, curvature and radius of curvature are reciprocal to each other, and here the question is to find the curvature, find the point on y equal to this where the curvature is maximum, but we know the formula for the radius of curvature. So we have determined the radius of curvature where it is minimum. At that minimum point, curvature will be maximum because it is reciprocal to the radius of curvature. Okay, I will show one more example, then you will read, and if you have any question, you will ask me in the next class, because probably you have some other classes. And this is, look at this, this is one curve, radius of curvature of the circle. It is taken in the parametric form, x equal to r cos theta, y equal to r sin theta. And this is the formula for the parametric form, dx d theta, d square x d theta, theta square, dy d theta, d square, d theta square. substitute here, you will find the radius of curvature as r. It is the radius of the circle. Okay, then find the radius of curvature at the origin of the curve. Radius of curvature at the origin of the curve. Look at this, there is no constant term, so it passes through the origin. And what will be the tangent at the origin? If you would like to, you can use the Cartesian formula 1 plus y1 square whole to the power 3y2 by y2 at 0, 0. Also, you can use the Newton's method because it is passes through the origin. Look at this. What is the lowest degree term? 1.
4x is equals to 0.
4x is equal to 0.
So x equal to 0 is the tangent at the origin, that is y axis is the tangent at the origin. So Newton's formula will be y square by 2x. Y square by 2x, that is equal to rho. Now divide this equation by x square. Sorry, 2x. Here it is denominator 2x. Divide this equation by 2x. So you will get 5 by 2x, this, and y square by 2x equal to rho. Y square by 2x at x tends to 0, y tends to 0 is rho. So if you take the limit x tends to y tends to 0, then y square by 2x equal to rho. So here it is 1 rho, here it is 1 rho, here it is 1 rho, but here x also present here. So x tends to 0 means this term 0, this term 0, this term 0, this term 0, this is 0, this is 0, and this equal to rho, and this equal to 2. So rho plus 2 equal to 0, that is rho equal to minus 2, but rho cannot be negative, so rho equal to 2. This is very easy to find the radius of curvature using Newton's method. And if you wish to find the radius of curvature using Cartesian formula, then it will take time because you have to find the first derivative, then second derivative, then use the formula. But rather it is used as you like. If you would like to still use the Cartesian formula, you can use this. Okay, so okay, 1, 2, 3 more examples are given. You will try to solve this one. Otherwise, I will discuss and then I will start asymptote. Okay, that's all. I think you have some humanities classes or. Okay, you can leave.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.